Hey everybody, good morning, still morning. My name is Kelly Brown. I'm so excited to be here with you on this Wednesday. I have been thinking a lot about this whole live video and trying to be more present and sharing at least once or twice a week with you guys different things that I found that help me in the different areas of my life. So a little bit about myself. I'm a mom of 6, married to an amazing man who's a high school principal. With our 6 children, we have lots of crazy adventures. This summer, our craziest is that we are remodeling and adding onto our home. So I am currently coming to you from my mother-in-law's house. She very generously has allowed us to stay with her and take over with our little people. And there's been lots of learning in the whole process. What I want to talk to you today about is motivation. Motivation to me is one of the most important things, but a lot of times it's one of the quickest things that we lose in our journey. I don't know if you feel this way at all, but from time to time what I found is I get really pumped up, I get really excited to do things, and then about 3 days in, I can start to lose my pep, or a week in, or 2 weeks in. Part of what I do is I run these challenge groups, and in our groups they're 21 days or 30 days, and I always notice week 1 is amazing, week 2 is pretty good, and by 3 and 4, people are struggling. So I wanted to share with you some things that I was really thinking about after spending a weekend away from my family. I went to a learning and training conference, a leadership conference in Cleveland, and we dug into a lot of these things. And it's interesting. You might think that to be successful in life, you need to have all of these tools. The greatest tools that you can have is learning how to draw inspiration from yourself so that you can learn how to dig in and draw inspiration from other people. So one of the biggest things I'm going to start with, number one, that comes with trying to find motivation is you have to dig deep. It is not a surface thing. It is not a surface thing. We are not motivated by the things on the surface. Yes, okay, for example, in a weight loss journey, you might be motivated because you have a pair of jeans and you want to fit in them after having a baby. That's true. But really, honestly, that scale is not going to motivate you after a certain point. It's going to frustrate you some days, it's going to make you upset some days and happy some days, and it's giving power to something that's not important. It's not important. And the pants, as much as they're amazing and how you feel, are important in a sense of the goal, but it's digging deep, digging deep. Why does that matter? Why is that important? For example, if you work and you're at home and you're a stay-at-home mom and you're working from home like I do, why do I get up at 5:30 every morning? I have to dig deep. It's because I want time with my children, because I want my days to be peaceful. And when I think about that, and I think about the peacefulness, and I think about that time that I'm creating, I get up. I just get up because I'm motivated. I make the decision. I dig deep. I remove the emotion from it. I stop saying things like, I'm not a morning person. I'm not good at this. This is not working. I take those things out of my language and I fill them with things of my family is worth it. I love my kids. I love getting up in the morning now. And what has helped me to do that has been digging into personal development. I listen to a lot of audio, videos on YouTube. I read a lot of books that are helping me dig deeper in my story. And that takes us to another point that I want to make with you today, which is that you have to let go of your excuses. We all have excuses, but what an excuse really is just a lie. It's a well-planned lie. Like, it's just basically an agreement we make. It's a decision that we make. It's a choice we make to not do. Now, there are reasons that things cannot happen. This is true. If you don't go to a wedding because you're 38 weeks pregnant and you don't want to go into labor on the plane, that's not an excuse. That's a good reason. But there are excuses that are fed by our fears. There's a great book, a little plug here, called Let Go of the Fear, that a very good friend of mine wrote on overcoming fear. And you'll notice as you read this book, the stories that are involved and are woven in there are women who had to let go, a lot of them, of those false ideas, those lies that were turning in excuses that were holding them back. So for example, we've talked a little bit about fitness this morning. It's on my forefront of my mind because that's what I do, but maybe it's getting up early, maybe it's having more prayer time, maybe it's going to mass once a week, maybe it's having adoration time. That was a big thing for me for a long time. I wanted to have an hour of adoration every week, but the excuse was, I'm not a morning person, I'll fall asleep at night, I have 6 kids and I'm not taking them in the chapel, I don't, no, I had to find a way to make it work because I dug deep, I knew it was a need, I knew why I needed it, and then I decided I had to let go of the excuses and fit it in. I can't eat healthy. I can't afford to eat healthy. I can't afford to do this. That's an excuse. We can find ways. You can look in your budget and find ways. We are in control of those things. They were given to us and we are in control of them. So it was a big aha for me this past weekend, how many times I hold back from growing because I have excuses. So really discerning, is this an excuse or a reason? Is it a valid reason or is it an excuse? And when I name them, it's kind of freeing, but then I get nervous. And that's my third point. I get nervous because our excuses exist in our comfort zone. We can live in the comfort zone. I had a good friend and mentor one time say this on a call we were listening to. Had the blessing of being mentored by John C. Maxwell last year and continuing to be. He's a phenomenal writer, leadership expert, mentor. And he said, get out of your comfort zone and stay in your gift zone. Get out of your comfort zone and stay in your gift zone. So don't get out of your comfort zone and out of your gift zone, because then you're going to be flailing all over the place and scared to death. But what my mentor and friend said after that call is, she said, your comfort zone can be your casket. I just got chills thinking about that. If we stay in our comfort zone, we won't grow. We can't grow in our comfort zone. So when you start to dig deep, and then you start to name your excuses, and then you're like, oh, shoot, what do I do? That's that nervousness that's telling you jump out of that box and go for it. Go for it. Not recklessly, but with reckless abandonment, trusting in God, trusting where He's leading you. And this is where this applies everywhere, guys. If you're a mom and your excuse, so here's another one. I'm a mom of 6 kids. I love my kids. I want to be the best mom. And I fail a lot. So the excuses I kept having for not playing with them more often is I'm not good at it. They don't enjoy playing with me. I have other things I could do that's probably better. They were rooted in fear. And to get out of my comfort zone, you know what I did one night? I put on Just Dance Kids, and as a little crazy person, I danced with my kids, and it was one of the best times we've ever had as a family. When I start to get nervous and feel those excuses, and I want to stay in my comfort zone, because in my comfort zone, I can work, and I can clean, and I can organize stuff, and I don't have to fail in the relationship part of being a mother. So I jump out of my comfort zone. I'll put on Pandora with Michael Jackson, and I'll dance with my kids. Stepping out of my comfort zone, I find freedom. Stepping out of my comfort zone means I will fail, because there will be times that I'll try to jump in and do something with them and they won't like it, and I might lose my temper or I might lose my patience. But that failure is a growth environment. It's a growth opportunity. It's an opportunity to succeed, because that failure can become my motivation. It can help me go back to step 1 of digging deeper. Why did I fail? What do I need to work on? Okay, what's holding me back? Let me name my excuses. Okay, number 3, where can I go out of my comfort zone today to grow? And then I'm teaching my children to do the same. And I want to teach that to you. I want you to have that freedom. Freedom is a huge and powerful part of my journey. It's the name of my team. It's the name of my blog. It's the name always in my mind. We just celebrated freedom for our country. It's a powerful, powerful part of my life, because I have lived in bondage many times. In fact, after spending some time away this weekend, I had a big aha that I had fallen back into that bondage mindset of I'm not enough. And I was pouring myself everywhere in my comfort zone. And it called me out that I had to step out of my comfort zone again and start working in my gift zone again. And that inspired me. That is my 4-year-old and 6-year-old bartering over Pokemon. But they're okay. So anyway, my time is allotted, but I wanted to share those points with you. If you're struggling in your fitness and you need motivation, the first place to start, yes, is to name your goals, but you also need to then start digging into the why that matters, and then digging into the excuses of what holds you back. And then figuring out, hey guys, stop. Baby steps you can take to step out of your comfort zone and even fail so that you can get closer to your goals. If it's in the spiritual life, it's setting realistic expectations of what you need, thinking about how that makes you feel, letting go of the excuses that hold you back, stepping out of your comfort zone. Maybe that's taking all your kids to mass one day. That could be crazy. Maybe it's taking all your kids to the grocery store. I've done that too. But you learn to love. Hey Tobias, come here. You learn to love the life you have, even with this. You learn to embrace peacefully, with freedom, the life you have. So now I'm gonna go and take care of this temper tantrum, but I hope this is helpful to you today. Post any questions you have below, books that you think would be good, needs that you have. If you wanna talk through this one-on-one, message me. I gotta go.